Hello, my name is Marcus and welcome to Tabletop Reviews, where today I'm having a look at 5 games that I have played. Yes, another episode of these ones. This is part 3, I believe, from this point of view as well. I'm actually just checking in my mirror, because unfortunately my camera don't have a flap that goes out so I can see it. And it seems that I am in view. I completely forgot to do that in last episode, so my forehead is completely gone. But I might put some pictures in, so that's okay. Anyways, today I'm having a look at one very bad game, and then 4 games that go above and beyond, above average. But let's start off with the really bad game. It's called The Donkey Game. Or just Donkey Game. Basically what it is that either player gets a pile of an equal size, I believe it depends, 30 or 40 cards, and then the remaining cards, well then a handful of 5, and then the remaining cards in a pile in the middle. And the game is all about getting rid of your pile of cards. So in the middle you create a pile that goes from 1 to 12 or 13, with some joker cards that of course counts for every card. And then you can create 4 piles as well next to you. So 4 piles in the middle, which are the main piles, and then 4 piles next to you. Because you will start your game by putting down a card, right? Start with number 1, but then you can add to the piles that are already existing, and you end your game by putting a card down here. If you do empty your hand without putting a card here, you're allowed to drop 5 new and continue. And then it's all about getting rid of that main pile, your face down pile, 1 card at a time. And that's the game. When my fiance was excited to play it with me at some point, when we gave away the game one time, and she immediately realized why she hadn't played it in a long time, because it's not good. It's all about luck. The other day we played a variant which is called Skippo. I don't know what it's called. That would be called in English. Sorry. Of course, just basically the same game. You are just going back and forth. And my 2 opponents, my fiance and another dude from a playing group, they had good piles where they would just go 6 cards in a row. I would never get more than 3 cards in a row for mine. And why? Well, I was the one who shuffled it. It was the luck of the shuffle. There's no tactic in it. There's no. I think sure when my opponent is stupid enough to put down a 9 from his hand rather than from his pile, then that goes to our favor. But it's just a bad game. It's not one of those really terrible, simple card games. You see all the YouTubers releasing some currently, right? I don't think. I'm not going to get any of the current like TikTok or YouTube or artist card games or whatever. I'm sure most of them would be ranked like a 3. Because they're what they belong. And this just feels like something somebody threw together because they needed a simple card game to sell. And it's just stupid. Sure, it's fun, but that's more basically down to your players and not the game. It's a 1 out of 10. It's just a bad game. There isn't really any redeeming quality to it. It's just putting down cards in order. It's cleaning your deck of cards. It's just bad. It's just a bad game, and then yeah, 1 out of 10. Let's move on to something that's a little bit better, but once again survives off of player interactions. It's called Telestrations, and it surprised me a lot when I just randomly looked. What the hell are you doing, you stupid cat? Rangi. She just attacked the door. I don't know what she's doing. Telestration. It surprised me to see that Tom Basil in 2011 or something rated it in his top 100. Really? Surprised me, but maybe there weren't any better games in 2011. It's that good of a game. It's not a good game. It's a fun party game, but it's not that good of a game. Basically, you drop a card and then you roll a dice. And in one of the cards, it has 1 to 6, and every number is a word. You roll the die, and the number it lands on, number 5, banana. Well, you have to draw a banana. And then you move it on, the person has to guess what you've drawn, and then move on the word so that the person looks at what the person guessed you draw, and then it drew based on that, and then going around, and then you receive some points based on how you did. I mean, usually we just play without receiving the points, and you choose your own word, because rolling together word is ridiculous. You choose your own word slash sentence, and you pass it around, and that's the fun of it. So gameplay wise, it's not very good, but it is incredibly fun, especially if you have people who can't really draw. That's the draw of it. If you can't draw, you need this game, because it becomes so much more fun. Seriously, it becomes so much more fun if you can't draw, and you get a lot of fun things out of it, and it's really fun at parties. It's a 3 out of 10 for me, because it's so simple. You know, it's just drawing a word, guessing a drawing, but it is so much fun to play with the correct. What are you doing? There's nothing. Stop. Zoe. Go into the other room. We had to put the litter out here because her and her sister was against each other. We can't lock one in a room without, you know, a litter. Now she's choosing this one instead of the other one. I need to move it back in, but so you didn't even pee or poop or anything. You just scratched it. Cats. Anyways, where was it? Right? It's a really fun game, but the baseline of the game and the points and stuff doesn't make any sense. So it's a 3 out of 10. Now we move on to a game which is very dependent on playing group size. Werewolf. We played this at the minimum of 5 players, which is like said to be the actual minimum. Except then you're 4 villages and 1 who tells the time, so you need to guess the werewolf within 2 nights, which is basically impossible. I would not say don't play this game beneath 10 players, really, because there's flimsical rules at 5, 6, 7, 8. You're getting into something, you're surviving longer nights. 9 and 10, we're getting there, but above 10 is where it's at. And I have played this at 15. I think we were 15, and I was one of the ones who died early in one of the games, and it's like fine. You look at the other ones, you follow the game. If you can follow the game, like there's some people who probably can't do that, but I can, and it was exciting to see the game. Try, you know, now I know who killed me. Okay, guys, guess correctly, and that is a lot of fun. But it is very dependent on playing group size. But all the roles that do something different, it's very interesting, trying to communicate hidden roles, hidden something, can't remember what it's called, but it's really fun. I'm rating this a 5 out of 10. Again, it's an abstract card game, because the theme doesn't matter. One person is secretly a killer, the other people has to guess that person. But the roles that you can have, and just, it elevates it a lot, and the conversations you get, it elevates it a lot. Trying to say like, hey, I know this person is innocent because I'm the seer, but I can't say that I'm the seer. I just have to hint towards it. Because if I straight up say it, I'm up, right? And then you can add a ghost who can write like one word or maybe just one letter at a time. It's so exciting because then it like slowly gets towards it. But sorry. Man, so it's a 5 out of 10 for me. It's a very fun, as I said, very dependent on the play group and the play group size to be exciting, but it's a lot of fun most times I've ever played it. No, it's almost out of power, damn. It's a lot of fun. It's really great. It's 5 out of 10, yeah. Next up is Enigma. I gotta remember correctly. Anyways, Enigma is all about trying to, what do you say? Close off. I can't really fully remember the rules now that I'm thinking, but it's all about creating a lot of points, and whoever gains the most amount of point, an amount of point first, ends the game, and you know, maybe you're the winner. I believe it's 20 points. Ooh, I can't quite remember, but basically you score. You're creating a maze here together with every player. Every player counts to the same one. Then based on what you have in the color blue, in the color yellow, in the color red, in the closed off area, you get points based on that. And the way you get these maze pieces is by 4 different challenges that would be like over here. And then every turn, one player is the first player to choose, and then going around. And then you choose a puzzle to try and trick, which can be based on, I know I'm really good at these puzzles, or that's the exact, like, looking shape that I need for the maze to close it off to get a bunch of points. One of those two is like what you would choose based on. Usually we chose based on what we're good at, because it's better to have something than nothing. And there are definitely some of them we're better at than others. And then basically you start, everybody flips over the puzzle, looks at it, and whenever someone feels like they can solve it, they start a time. Sometimes you will have people who just flip it over, start the time, and then try to solve it in that time, which is stupid. Literally, we played a couple of games this one. Basically, every time someone did that, they failed. They didn't do the puzzle. But that's also a tactic, right? If you get one that you know you are going to struggle an extreme amount with, fuck it over for everybody else as well. Fuck it. You're not going to solve it, maybe I am. But you're not. Boom, let's go for it. It was great fun. The tactic of choosing where to put your maze pieces as well to maximize the amount of points. I remember the game that I won. I convinced my fiance to close it off because we're gonna get a lot of points. Close it off now. I got enough. I got like 25 points or something through that one, and she got enough to grab not second but third, coming from way down behind, and basically screwing over our two comrades. And it was fun. Obviously, that I needed to give some massage when we got home, but it was worth it. And it was a lot of fun, and just a really great game with the challenging of these brain-teasing challenges and limited amount of time and then fitting in it. And where am I going to put my figure? Oh, I can't put it in the red because we're connected, but I'm going to take yellow. There's a lot of yellow. Really building on it, and you can continue just advance it, close it in small portions or large portions, whenever, whatever. It's a lot of fun. It was really great. Well, not great actually. It was really good, and it's a 7 out of 10. And basically, an 8 is pushing really great game, whilst the 7 is at a really good game, right? Well, 9 is a really great game, and 10 is perfect. But 8 is pushing really great. It's really, really good. It's pretty freaking great. 7 is where this one belongs, because it's a really, really good game. It's not great. It's not going into that great, but it's really, really good. If it was going to be great, I don't know what it would be. Sometimes you can't make a game great, but you can make a game really, really good. And Enigma is really, really good with the choice of which ones to take and the turn order, and it's just really, really good. So Enigma 7 out of 10, a really good game. A game that is pushing great is A Wonderful World, or It's a Wonderful World. We usually just say Wonderful World, and I thought it was just called A Wonderful World, but I think it's actually called It's a Wonderful World. It's a little bit confusing, but that's a game that is great. So what it is you have a hand of 7 cards to start off, and you have like a kingdom. You can go to basic, where all of you get the same like resources from your kingdom. You can go to advanced, where all of you get different resources. We've played both kinds. I do prefer simple, just to have the same starting points. That's just my preference, but the advanced one is really fun as well. And then you have a hand of 7 cards to start off with. You choose one card that you are going to keep in your area, and the rest you can move on and you receive the other ones. And of course, depending on the player count, you might see that pile, your pile again, or you might not. I can't remember if it's 5 or 6 players, that's the maximum amount. I love my cats. Anyways, when every card has been drafted out, and you all have now 7 cards down here, now it's time to choose which ones do I want to try and build, which ones do I discard, because if you discard some, there are resources to that. If you build them, there are better resources to that, but they might be really expensive, they might give you points, just resources. So it's all about managing that, and then it's 4 rounds. 4 rounds to get through it, that's 28 cards you're going to get through. Can you build them all? Where are you going to go? Of course, in the build phase, you of course receive base resources, blue and black and green and yellow, and then whoever gets the most of that resource, so whoever gets the most greens gets a bonus for that, and whoever gets the most blacks get a resource bonus for that. I don't think there's a bonus for reds, because red represents that you have 5 of the same, but there's also some that need you to have reds. Yeah. But it's a great drafting game, and it works really well with more players. I think most drafting games does do that because you pass it around a bit more. But it's a really great game. Honestly, it is, with the drafting mechanics and building them. I like that, you know, you have some of the basic ones you get a lot of. So maybe you want to build one of them and discard 2 of them. I think I've sat with, you know, hand 7 cards, basically 2 different ones. Not quite, but a lot of the same ones, and maybe you discard some or you build some. And every turn is almost like, well, depending on the cards you get, that's what you're going to try and focus on. Okay, I got a lot of blue cards, I'm going to focus on blue cards. I got a lot of red cards, I'm going to focus... No wait, that's not a red card, sorry. Got a lot of grey cards, I'm going to focus on that. You know, a focus point based on the cards you get. What in the world was that? Oh, let's finish this up so I can tell her to bloody stop playing with everything. Nah, that was a very cute sound. Don't eat that. Okay, yeah, it's a wonderful world, a great 8 out of 10 game. Not fully the best ever, but I don't. Again, it's one of those. I don't know what they would do to get it to 9 or 10, but it's a really good 8 out of 10. A really good card drafting game where you build up your kingdom with buildings and stuff. Really good. That's another 5 games I've played. I want to again say thank you very much for watching and hope to see you next time. Bye.